Lila swallowed hard. What has she done to you? Juliet shuddered. She's broken me down piece by piece. My memories blur. My voice, it isn't even my own anymore. She wants me to believe Juliet is real. But Jason is still in here. She pressed a trembling hand against her chest. I know it. Lila gripped her arm. Then we'll get Jason back. I'll find a way. Juliet's eyes filled with tears, a fragile glimmer of hope piercing through her fear. She watches everything. The phones, the doors, the staff. But there's a service tunnel beneath the estate. It leads to the woods. I've memorized the schedule when the guards, her hired men, patrol. If we move carefully, we can make it. Lila's heart raced. It sounded dangerous. Impossible even. But there was no choice. When? She asked. Juliet hesitated. Tomorrow night. At midnight. The air thickened as a faint tinkle drifted through the floorboards above the bell. Juliet froze, her body stiffening, her breath halting. She's calling, she whispered, voice reverting to the soft, automatic tone. She backed away, curtsying even to the shadows. Oui, madam. Then she hurried up the stairs, candlelight flickering out, leaving Lila alone in the dark. Lila clutched the photograph still hidden in her pocket, her mind spinning. Tomorrow. Midnight. The escape was set. But something deep in her gut warned her, Marissa already suspected. The grandfather clock in the hallway struck midnight. Its chimes echoed through the mansion like a warning, each toll vibrating in Lila's bones. She crept out of her room, her pulse hammering in her ears. The corridors were dark, but she knew Marissa was somewhere inside, always watching, always listening. Juliet was waiting in the east corridor, her skirts gathered in one hand so they wouldn't rustle as loudly. Her candle burned low, the flame flickering against her pale, determined face. Now, she whispered. They moved quickly, slipping down the narrow servant staircase to the cellar. The stone steps were cold, the air heavy with dampness. Juliet led the way, her every movement precise, as though she had rehearsed this escape 1,000 times in her mind. At the far end of the cellar, half hidden behind a rack of dusty wine bottles, was a low iron door. Juliet knelt and pulled it open with trembling hands. A gust of stale air rushed out, carrying the scent of earth and mildew. This leads to the woods, Juliet said softly. If we reach the other side, we can find the road. Freedom is only a mile away. Lila crouched to follow her into the narrow tunnel, her heart pounding with both fear and hope. But then a sound. The faintest chime of silver. The bell. Juliet froze mid-step. Her entire body stiffened, her breath hitching in her throat. She turned her head sharply, as if pulled by invisible strings. She knows, Juliet whispered in terror. Lila grabbed her shoulders. Ignore it. We're almost out. Juliet shook her head violently, panic flooding her features. I can't. When she calls, her hands trembled uncontrollably. It's like my body doesn't belong to me. Footsteps echoed above them, measured, deliberate, descending the staircase. Lila's blood turned to ice. Marissa. The tunnel yawned open before them, darkness stretching into the unknown. Freedom and capture stood side by side. Juliet, listen to me, Lila whispered urgently, gripping her tighter. This is your choice. Not hers. Not anymore. Yours. For a flicker of a moment, Juliet's eyes cleared, the vacant glaze giving way to raw desperation. She looked at the tunnel, then back at the steps where Marissa's shadow was growing longer with every footfall. The bell chimed again, louder this time. Juliet's lips parted in a strangled whisper, run. And then, the cellar door creaked open. The cellar door swung wide, spilling golden lamplight down the stone steps. And there she was. Marissa descended slowly, her silk nightgown whispering around her ankles, her hand cradling the silver bell like a weapon. Each step echoed with calm inevitability. Well, she said softly, her voice slicing through the silence. What do we have here? Lila's throat tightened. She moved instinctively in front of Juliet, blocking Marissa's view of the tunnel. We were just exploring. Marissa interrupted, her lips curling into a smile. You've always been curious, Lila. But curiosity can be dangerous. She raised the bell slightly, letting it chime once. Juliet gasped as though struck. Her body stiffened, her hands snapping to her skirts in an automatic curtsy. "Oui, madam," she whispered, her voice trembling. Lila gripped her arm tightly. "No, don't listen, Juliet, stay with me." Marissa tilted her head, eyes gleaming with amusement. "Oh, darling, you still think she belongs to herself? She hasn't been Jason for a long time. She hasn't been anyone except what I made her." Her words struck like venom. Juliet's eyes fluttered, torn between resistance and obedience, her whole body trembling in Lila's grasp. "You twisted her," Lila spat, her fear burning into fury. "You stole her life." Marissa stepped closer, her shadow falling over both of them. "I gave her a new one. Refined. Beautiful. Do you really think she'd survive out there, looking like this, speaking like this? The world wouldn't accept her. But with me," she gestured elegantly with the bell. "She is perfect." Juliet's lips parted in a desperate whisper. "I am not perfect." The words shocked even her, like they had slipped past the invisible chains. Marissa's eyes darkened. She shook the bell sharply, the chime ringing out like a command. Juliet winced, tears streaming down her face as her body tried to bow. But Lila didn't let her. She held Juliet upright, her own voice cutting through the cellar. "Fight it. You're more than this. You're Jason, you're Juliet, you're whoever you choose to be." For the first time, Juliet's vacant eyes flickered with defiance. She turned her face toward the tunnel, toward freedom. Marissa's smile faltered. "Enough," she hissed. She raised the bell high, as if summoning every ounce of control it held. In that split second, Lila made her choice. She grabbed Juliet's hand, yanked her toward the tunnel, and whispered fiercely, "Run." Lila's hand clamped tightly around Juliet's as they plunged into the narrow tunnel. The earth smelled of damp clay, the low ceiling forcing them to crouch as they scrambled forward. Behind them, the sharp tinkle of the bell echoed once, then again fainter, but terrifying all the same. "She's coming," Juliet gasped, her breath ragged. "She won't stop." "Then neither do we," Lila hissed, pushing her onward. The tunnel twisted sharply, roots breaking through the packed dirt like skeletal fingers. Each step felt endless, the scrape of their shoes muffled by the earth. Lila's lungs burned, but she didn't dare slow down. Then clang. A metallic slam reverberated behind them. Marissa's voice followed, calm but carrying down the tunnel like smoke. "Run if you must. It makes no difference. You'll come back. They always do." Juliet whimpered, stumbling, but Lila steadied her. "Don't listen. Keep moving." At last, the tunnel sloped upward, a faint glimmer of moonlight spilling through wooden slats at the end. Freedom. Juliet's hand tightened around hers. For the first time, there was determination in her eyes, not just fear. "We can make it." Together, they shoved against the wooden hatch. It groaned, dirt raining down, but finally burst open. Cold night air rushed over them, crisp and sharp. The forest stretched before them, trees whispering in the moonlight. They scrambled out, collapsing into the tall grass. For a moment, the silence felt unreal. But then chime. The silver bell rang again, faint but chilling, somewhere deep in the tunnel. Juliet's body convulsed. She clutched her head, her voice breaking. I can't, she's pulling me back." "No," Lila shouted, grabbing her shoulders. "You're free now. Look at me. Look at the sky. You're not hers anymore." Juliet's gaze flicked upward, catching the stars overhead. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but she nodded shakily. Branches cracked in the woods behind them. A lantern's glow flickered between the trees. Marissa had followed. "Go." Lila yanked Juliet to her feet. Together, they sprinted into the forest, the moonlight guiding them. Their skirts and robes snagged on branches, twigs clawed at their skin, but they didn't stop. The bell chimed again, closer this time. And Lila realized with a jolt of terror, Marissa wasn't just chasing them. She was hunting them. Branches whipped across Lila's face as she dragged Juliet deeper into the forest. The ground was uneven, roots snaring at their feet, but adrenaline kept them running. Every breath felt like fire in Lila's chest, but behind them came the steady rhythm of footsteps, measured, unhurried, relentless. And then the bell. Its silver chime cut through the night air, soft but piercing. The sound seemed to carry for miles, weaving through the trees, sinking into their bones. Juliet faltered, clutching her head. "She's in me," she gasped. The sound, it crawls under my skin. Lila caught her before she fell. "No, it's just noise. That's all it is. You're stronger than her." But the bell rang again, and Juliet's knees buckled. She doubled over, trembling, lips parting in a whisper she couldn't stop. "Oui, madam." A lantern's glow flickered in the distance. Marissa's silhouette moved calmly among the trees, her nightgown flowing like a specter, the bell glinting in her hand.